right now. Hello. I wonder if the sound is coming from my headphones or I'll figure out the sound later. And I completely forgot to get water for the paint. On making the cat a little bit galaxy colored, but this is just the base color that I figured I'd put down. Hello. Hey. So I'm painting a cat with a guitar, and this is the biggest canvas I've ever done before. And the cat I am planning to make a little bit galaxy colored, a little bit unique on the coloring. I'm just putting a base color right now. So, how is everyone doing currently? very funny. I am not quite at Bob Ross's level of painting yet, but I hope to be one day, maybe. And this is actually gouache, so it's not oil paint. It's not quite the same medium as Bob Ross there, but could be easily confused. Thank you. Yeah, I sketched this out the other day on live stream, and then now painting it. It's actually going to be a collab between a friend of mine, but I will be painting the subjects, and my friend will be painting the background. It's probably gonna take a while. This project probably will take like a few months. All things considering all the details I want to add in, how big it is. Also, everyone, thank you for the likes. I see 4 of you guys have dropped a like there. Thank you. I appreciate every bit of support I get. Also, I'm 1 sub away from 200, which is crazy. Hello, love Chloe. Welcome to my stream. Right now I'm just painting in a base layer for a cat, which I plan to make galaxy colored. Because I can't just have no normal cat colors. I gotta have a pretty cat that's different colors than usual. Yeah, I did say galaxy colored. Probably makes sense why I'm painting out this blue base color then. Now, I said that. Yes. Not typically. But maybe I'll do some more after this, but not this size. I mean, I just do whatever I feel like doing, honestly. I have a background in realism, so I did realism for a very long time, and I'm very much experimenting with different styles and things like that. I figured, lots of practice, thousands of hours of practice is how I got really good at drawing. Got some brushes over here. Trying to decide which one to use next. I don't want to go too small next, but I don't want to go too big in brush size. I think I'll go down a half an inch. Thank you. I love when it gets just stuck. Paint gets stuck in the box. Come on. Me just furiously shaking the box. I guess I'll just use the little size thing that it came with as the palette. My tip is just break things down into shapes, and if you need something to be symmetrical, draw a line down the middle, because it really definitely helps like you see what is what on either side and not veer off too much. What else? Also, practice everything that you can. Not just what you want to draw. And I would recommend starting with more realistic stuff, even if you want to go a little bit more stylized, because if you don't know where the baseline is, you don't know how to scratch and manipulate stuff into a style. And you may get some that look well and good, but they're not gonna be a formula per se, like they're not going to be consistently proportional if you do not know how to do proportions, if that makes sense. Yes, it is a cat. I'm realizing you guys can't see what I'm doing on the palette here, but what I'm doing currently is just putting down a baseline of colors. Or what I've made a palette, because it's just a random piece of cardboard. Yeah, sure, we can call him Squishy. I'll let my friend know that you guys named him Squishy. My favorite song, that's really, really hard to think about. Let me like go over here and actually like scroll Spotify. Pull it up. I really like Paper Cuts by West Ghost, and my friend who actually is going to be working on the background of this video, like of this canvas, does make music as well. He recently dropped a song actually. His name is Brett Ryder. That's my friend's music over there. Oh, it's too bad. Well, I hope that you can find a hairstylist that will repair the damage that's been done to your poor hair. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, I'm actually getting my hair dyed tomorrow, so hopefully that goes well. I've pretty much always had decent results with haircuts, but I've also had times where I have thought, oh dear, uh, my entire generation is going to hear about this because this is terrible. So these are the colors on my palette currently. I'm just doing a light indent of where the cat's light fur is. I don't know if you guys can see from this distance, but I can't move you any closer. Ooh, oh, it's okay. I'll just move out of the way. I actually blocked out where the cat's light fur is, and I'm just doing a little bit of a pink, purple, blue very lightly in here, and then I'll add highlights in. Oh, my hair. My hair, I'm dyeing it the blue I typically have it. It's currently like faded out right now. But yeah. I trust the hairstylist. If they do a bad job, I can just blame it on my friend who recommended them to me. He's like, you messed up. And I can just redo it myself and hope it's looking okay. Yeah, I probably will. I'm friends with this person, so if they mess up, it's not great. I typically only have people that are like certified professionals working on my hair because I ain't messing around with a bad hair day. If you get what I mean. Yes. Squishy is doing well. You can see the fur coming together there on the chest. It's actually not that bad. It's not that bad. Just sketching in some fur. Well, 21 minutes, time of the stream. But years, a lot of years. I think like 4 or 5. That's how many years I've been painting. But in terms of actually putting paint down on the canvas, I just started this stream. So. I actually did make a tutorial on how to like cat's anatomy breakdown last time because someone asked me last night. Probably should start making bunches of tutorials, even though it does terribly with the YouTube algorithm. Just since so many people on stream are so interested. Um, Although in terms of art tutorials to learn from, Mark Curley is great. He his tutorials are awesome, especially because like a lot of the techniques you can implement on your own really easily and into your own pieces. Well, you can do whatever you want. Although I do appreciate the comments. You came across a art channel. I'm painting a cat and a guitar, and right now I'm focused on getting and blocking in the fur for the cat. And I am using gouache by Hollow Pan. Hello. Thank you. I gotta say, there it depends on what you're saying about modern art, but I wouldn't put it down another art style just because it's different than this one. Um, I watch a guy who does modern art, and like you look at his pieces and you're like, there's nothing there. And he goes to the store and buys every single paint tube that's the same color, and then arranges them based on the like light to darkest one, and then paints with the exact same color from the store. And if you look really closely, there's portraits. Thank you. I have gotten a few compliments so far on this one, but it is always nice and always appreciated. Thank you. Oh, awesome. I also have a cat. Her name is Kitty Softpaws. And there's a cat here currently, and his name's Willie. And he's absolutely ancient. Cat is like over 20 years old. It's an old cat. He has arthritis, and sometimes I have to like trim down like when his fur gets like matted or something. I have to trim it down. He's not very happy with me when I do that. Oh, nice. I technically only have one cat, but I get to interact with a lot of different cats. I'll put it that way. My cat isn't the only one I'm petting on. Always be giving love to all the cats that I see on the street or wherever. I remember my sister, my younger sister, had a sleepover once, and these people had kittens, and I totally forgot that I did not know these people, and just like when the kitten was right by the door, I just knelt down and started petting the kitten. My sister was like, I'm so embarrassed. It's like, I love the little kitties. Calicos, yes. Oh, nice. I have a little cockatoo. Hello. I'm currently doing this painting in the USA. So somewhere around there. but nice to know my international audience. It's a little dark. Hello. Oh, yeah, I met a cat once that, let's just say, he didn't have very many brain cells because he'd be walking along his dresser, minding his own business, and then he'd just keep walking straight, but there was no more dresser, and just flop on the floor. He didn't even try to, like, you know, save himself from hitting the ground. He just plopped, just straight out, just plopped. Hello. What do you do for art? Um, yeah, I think, yeah. Does YouTube have that feature turned on currently? I don't know if it does, but yeah, totally. I know I have a Ko-Fi that you can directly donate to me on there. I also have a VTuber model. I'm also open for commissions right now. So, if any of you guys want to commission me, you can message me on Insta. I would greatly appreciate commissions. As paint is not cheap, and life is not cheap either. Unfortunately, for me. I'm actually using right now is like $11.80 per tube, which is expensive. Hello. Welcome back. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I started off with traditional art. I do digital art as well also, but you can probably look at my page and see that as well. I'm just realizing I need to grab another box of my paints because I want a different color. But do you do like pencil, watercolor, like what type of art traditionally? Ah, yeah. Pencil is really fun. You can go pretty far with it. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll get better. Do you have a drawing tablet or do you just use your finger? Yeah, you could, but the color inaccuracy from batch to batch what annoys me. Um, yeah, you can edit and clip and whatever else. I'm pretty sure it's under Creative Commons currently. When I end the stream and if I make it public, it's technically under Creative Commons, so you can do whatever you want with the sound, the video, etc., etc. But I could definitely like publish this stream on Ko-Fi, the like downloaded version, like completely, so you don't have to clip it, and I can set the price to what you said there, and as well. I'm just gonna write down your username here. My fingers? Oh, okay. Yeah. If you want to step up your setup digitally and you do have the money, I'd recommend buying like a little HP drawing pad. I got like one of mine is like $40, like the cheapest one I have. You get it for really cheap, and it works with your phone, which I'm assuming that's what you're drawing on. So like this is a Deco Mini from HP Pen, and it's about $40. So if you're drawing digitally and you want to get really good with that, you can use that as a little bit of an easier transition. But my logo actually was drawn with my finger. So you can get away with drawing with your finger. Just make sure that your drawing app has a stabilizer and that you turn it on. And also, I would recommend zooming out a little bit so that you can get a little bit of a better result with your lines when they're a bit longer. You do have a digital pen. Okay. Also, something that could help you is the software you're using as well. What software are you using currently? Like in terms of apps? Is it on your phone or your laptop that you're drawing? Yes, you can do that with acrylic paint, but this is not acrylic. This is gouache. Okay, so in terms of free stuff on your phone, have you tried Autodesk Sketchbook yet? There's also Ibis Paint, which I've heard it's pretty good, but I prefer Autodesk Sketchbook on my phone. But I typically just use Clip Studio Paint as it's typically my drawing software across my phone and my computer, just so I don't get confused. Yeah, I don't work with acrylics. I don't like acrylics. But that's just a personal taste thing. Nice. I'd recommend trying Autodesk Sketchbook then. It makes traditional like art better a little bit, and there's no ads. It's free. It works with every phone that I'm aware of that I've used personally, and I've used some pretty old phones. This one is a lot newer than most, but yeah, that might help you a little bit. And they have a more simple layout than Ibis. A little bit. But once you get down like digital stuff like a little bit more, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Also, make sure to play around with layer modes and blending modes. They're very important and they will help you, such as multiply and add layers. Ah, that makes sense. Well, what do I use? It's a long list, but I'll start going through it. So I use gouache, which is what I'm using right now, by Holoban. I use watercolors by Winsor & Newton. I use oils from Winsor & Newton and another brand. I use pencils like by Faber-Castell typically, and I use Prismacolors, inks, and occasionally airbrush. I also use alcohol markers. Oh, that's alright. We all gotta start somewhere. I got all this stuff through like years worth of like doing art and stuff. So I didn't pay up front all the way, but my stuff is very expensive and very high quality, and I can afford it, luckily. But I'm very privileged on that way. Not a starving artist in that regard. That's all right. Crawl is actually pretty good as long as you're not using crazy art. Don't do that. That's terrible. Okay. Have a good day. Bye. Although the funny thing is, I'm not actually even using a paint palette right now. I'm literally using the little tag that the canvas came with. Which is kind of funny. I have palettes and stuff like that, but old habits die hard. See, I used a lot of that pink. That's alright. Ah, nice. I love alcohol markers, and Prismacolors I use decently. I don't use them very often, but it is what I use when I'm using color pencils. They're very expensive though, and you can get pretty good results with them. Although I will say that expensive paints last a lot longer than inexpensive paints. You guys might have noticed the fact that I have like about the same exact amount of paint that I put on when I started, and I haven't been putting on much more paint. Yeah, alcohol markers, the brand, how do I say this in a way that makes sense? Alcohol markers are not light fast. Therefore, they won't last forever. They'll only last around 20 something years, 25 years, if you have them in direct sunlight. They fade really fast. And for that, I think alcohol markers are better used as concepts, or if you are turning them and digitizing them. So I do love using my alcohol markers, but I gotta be really conscious about the fact that they do not last as long as my other stuff does. And that is the real difference between, cheap paints and expensive, is the fact that they have light fastness. They tend to have more pigment in them. Well, in that case, if you have a printer, just scan it in and digitize it. Then you'll have it last forever. Or if you want to keep your pieces and just view them occasionally, buy a archival box, or just really any box that's black. Put it in there and just don't have it exposed to sunlight, because sunlight is what makes the colors fade. Oh, well, I'm sure that he doesn't know how valuable they are to you. And I totally get where you're coming from with your dad's not quite understanding where you're coming from. But just tell them that they're valuable to you, and see if you can make a compromise on a few pieces. For all you know, it could be because, he views them as taking up your space and stuff like that. But best of luck with that. Sorry about that. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's okay. You can always make more drawings. And um, if you keep at it, you're gonna look at the drawings that you lost, and you're gonna be like, well, they were kind of crappy anyway. But that's probably not what you want to hear right now. But just keep going, no matter what anyone says. And you'll get there, and eventually people will look and be like, that's great. Oh, you hide them now? Oh. Sorry you feel like you need to do that, but hopefully things get better for you. It's hard to believe I've been pretty much working with this one brush for the fur the whole time, right? It's just one. I got all these brushes over here, and I promise I get to them and I use them. It just takes me a while. I promise you, things will get better. Just have to let time do its thing. a lot of people these days view art as something you can't make money in, and that you can't succeed in. Just because it was that way in the past, potentially for a lot of artists. A lot of people are scared, especially about AI and stuff. And I can't say I'm not scared as well. But... Hello! Well, you were young then, and maybe he was making an effort to think about what it was. Maybe it wasn't. It doesn't matter. I am drawing near to the end of this stream, so I plan to only go about an hour, but I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope things get better for you, Chloe. I hope life gets better for everyone. Even if it is just wishful thinking. Hope it's what gets us all through the day. Yeah, that's a good idea. You'll get better really fast that way. That's what I did. But make sure to draw lots of different things. Don't just draw one thing over and over. Well, bye everyone. Have a good day.